So, you know, it's one of those things where I get so excited to come out and see my community, although I fear speaking to people so much, but seeing all your wonderful faces in the morning is amazing. So I'm excited to be here and tell you a little bit about Pacific Wildlife Care. So although this is only my 4th month in, I'm learning a lot. It's like fire hoses from all ends, as you probably can imagine. But you know, you just take one fire hose at a time and see how much of that you can drink. So, 40 years of Pacific Wildlife. And Pacific Wildlife started off in the homes of several dedicated people wanting to help wildlife as it was turned into them. So, pretty amazing. By 2007, they decided they needed to have a facility, a central location where people could bring wildlife to have them rehabilitate. And they had vets who were volunteering their time, then they started paying vets slowly. So it just kind of developed and developed, and now we have a full-time veterinarian, we have rehab technicians, we have interns, and then we have over 200 something volunteers that come and help us every year. So pretty amazing. So what does it look like? What are we talking about? Who are we rescuing? Well, as Jen mentioned, it's every animal that you can imagine, and some domesticated too, as people find them, and we find homes for them or work that out. But there's a lot that comes in. We have over, well, 2023, we had over 2,700 animals that came into the shelter. So quite a few. I'm just curious, how many people have heard of Pacific Wildlife prior to this? Oh yay, we've been here. How many have called in the last year? Okay. How about in the last month? Oh yes, I did. Talked to a couple of you already. So wonderful. Okay. So can you just imagine what's happening right now? Like, what time of year is it, and what animals do you think might be coming in?
Bears.
Babies? Did I hear babies? Babies. Nothing but babies. It is baby season. So it starts off with baby mammals, and then the center builds up with all of these baby mammals coming in, and then it turns into baby bird season. So baby bird season is just hit full swing. That means people are finding nests that have fallen out of trees. They're bringing it into the center, and we have these dedicated volunteers who are feeding these birds every 15 minutes. So the baby bird room is a very, very busy place at this time of year. Pretty amazing stuff. I didn't think that this is what they do. So what else do we do? Well, because we're the only wildlife facility center between Monterey and Santa Barbara, we take in a lot of animals, and we get a lot of calls. And we even have some animals that came over from the valley, because the place in Bakersfield, that's the closest in the valley, is currently shut down, and they're kind of restoring and trying to rebuild their organization. So it's a critical, essential, offering that we have. So, top 5 reasons for admission. Orphan, animals get orphaned, they get scared away, something happens. What's the most important thing you should do? Please, if you have animals that are a nuisance, like skunks or raccoons, they're just trying to take care of their babies, don't trap them. Call us, we can help, play loud music, try to get them out of there without trying to trap them and remove them on potentially their babies. So those are important things. Displacing them from their nest. Like I said, they fall down. Cat interactions, try and keep your cats indoors. Physical trauma, vehicle collisions. But of course, it's also cyclic. So, you know, the big storms, we just had seabird incidents, and there's tons of seabirds coming in, which is not something we anticipated. And then pelicans. Right now, it's kind of ramping up with some more pelicans again, so we don't know what's going on. So it really depends on what's happening in our atmosphere as well. So what do volunteers do? They do everything. So hotline, we get over 3,000 phone calls annually. So these folks are on the phone calling, or answering phone calls and responding to emails and trying to get the help from the callers. They are working in the facility itself. They work the front desk. Some do home care. Some do crayons, where they actually get to fly some of the raptors. We get them back up in the air again before they're released. And then facility maintenance is one, outside cleaning, and then of course we're always looking for help with events and fundraising. So lots of different things for people to do. Training varies depending on the task, and we're always looking for help and more volunteers. So if you love wildlife, you want to play with us, you know, feel free to call. Does anybody know the hotline number? I do. 805-543-WILD or 805-543-9453. So please remember that phone number.